All right, thank you. Everyone, please be seated. State, have the next witness available?
Yes.
Yep, I know. I need the jury.
Yes, we're
We're
ready.
back on the record. We'll have the jury brought out.
Okay.
I know I did that once, but I'm not going to do that again. Not yet. Now it is. You gotta. I gotta get faster on that. Yep. Sometimes I just forget.
Are you going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
No.
Still has yet to be proven for the record. Is that a judicial determination that you don't have to answer there, Your Honor?
Mr. Brooks, I've already answered subject matter jurisdiction. You know that full well.
No, I don't.
The decision was entered last week.
I know nothing. It has yet to be proved. That's what I know.
Doesn't need to be proved.
It does. It has to be proven by the prosecution. You know that.
No, I actually know to the contrary, so we're not going to address it.
So show me a lawful law that it says that.
Mr. Brooks, I provided you with the law.
No,
I'll
you
give
have
you
not.
You know what? I'll have my clerk print off another copy of that order. So
You don't have to do that. Have
No,
her
I'm going
print.
to because you apparently didn't read
No,
it. So
have
I
her
hope you
print
read
off
it this
proof.
time.
Have her print off proof that you have subject matter jurisdiction. How about that? It has to be proven
Mr.
for the
Brooks,
record. It has
you
yet to be
are simply
proven.
wrong as a matter of
No,
law.
I'm not. If I'm wrong, then show me that I'm wrong.
I've given you the constitutional and
No,
the
you haven't.
statutory authority
No,
and
you
the
have
case
not.
law.
You have not proven it on the record.
It doesn't need to be proven, sir.
It does need to be proven.
I believe the jury's coming in. They're coming in.
I believe that. You gotta prove it. You gotta prove subject matter jurisdiction. Set for value in return for value of that document. It's not proof of subject matter jurisdiction, for the record.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. State may call its next witness.
The state will call Anthony Winters.
All right. Good morning, sir. If you would please make your way to the witness stand, which is on my right. It is upper riser. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand. My clerk, Teresa, who's on my left, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Please be seated. First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and then spell each.
Anthony Winters, ANTHONY WINTERS.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. Sir, direct your attention to November 21st, 2021. Were you working in the city of Waukesha that day?
Yes,
What were you doing?
I was driving Lyft.
Can you explain for those few people, I think, who don't know what Lyft is, can you explain what that is?
It's a rideshare app where people can request rides from point A to point B.
Now, some people use Uber. Is that similar?
Yes, same thing. Yeah.
And is that your full-time job?
No,
Did you go to the parade, the City of Waukesha parade that day?
I did not.
Were you aware that the parade was in downtown Waukesha that day?
Objection, lady.
Overruled. He may answer.
Yes, I was.
How were you aware of that?
Everything was blocked off and there was heavy police presence, and then I saw kind of the convoy going.
Okay. So you say everything was blocked off. What do you mean by that?
Like a lot of the streets, when I was having to go pick up people, a lot of the streets were blocked off, so I couldn't go certain ways.
Do you recall approximately what time you started driving that day?
It was around like 3:25.
Mr. Winters, do me a favor. If there is an objection that's been raised by either party, wait to answer the question. I'll rule on the objection and then I'll let you know.
Yes, ma'am.
So the objection's noted, it's overruled, and you may continue answering.
Yes, ma'am.
And you said?
3:25.
Thank you. And do you know approximately how many fares you took that day?
That
Objection,
day,
speculative.
Overruled. He may answer.
that day, it was probably anywhere from like about 11 or 12, somewhere in there.
Were your clients all from the city of Waukesha? Was that the general area that you were working?
Objection. Irrelevant.
Overruled. You may answer.
No. I just happened to be in that area at that time.
At some point after, do you know approximately what time you got done working that night?
Oh, it was probably later, around like 10, 11 o'clock that night.
When you got home, did you see anything on the news?
No.
At some point, did you become aware of an incident that had occurred during the City of Waukesha Christmas parade?
Yes.
Objection, leading.
Overruled, he may answer. His answer may stand.
Generally, what information did you obtain?
Objection, leading.
Overrule.
When I saw a bunch of police cars going, I contacted my sister because my niece goes to school at Carroll, and I was wondering what was going on. She told me something that wasn't even true that was going on, but later, after the next day after watching the news and social media, I found out what happened.
Looking back when you were working November 21st, 2021, did anything seem relevant with regard to that news that you saw?
Objection, leading.
Overruled, you may answer.
Yeah, I had a call that was in the area, and it was just like a really weird call because no one ever showed up, but there was a very descriptive message that I got from the person that asked for the call about who I was looking for.
Okay, so I'm going to direct your attention to that day, November 21st, at approximately 5:15 p.m. What time did how do you receive communication when you get a client?
When you're signed into the app, it'll just pop up. You can accept it or you can decline.
So you say it just pops up. How does it pops up
on my cell phone?
Okay. And did you receive a fare request or a ride request at approximately 5:15
Objection,
p.m.?
leading.
Overruled, he may answer.
Yes, I did.
What information were you given with regard to that request?
Objection, leading.
Overruled, he may answer.
So the fare came in for Dawn, and the address I was picking up at was 550 Elizabeth, and it was an empty. Well, it wasn't empty. It was an empty parking lot, but it was a company that was closed. And then I was given information that I was looking for a light-skinned black guy with dreadlocks.
Okay. Now, when you say that the name associated was Dawn?
Mm-hmm.
That's a yes?
Yes.
Okay. And what does that mean to you? I'm not sure exactly how Lyft works, but...
That's just
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled, he may answer.
That's just the name of the person that I'm picking up. That I'm assuming that's the person I'm picking up.
Okay. And were you in the city of Waukesha when that pop-up came on your phone?
Yes.
So what did you do?
I drove to the parking lot and waited for and hit that I arrived and waited for whomever was going to come out of the company.
And that would be, you said 550 Elizabeth Street?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's in the city of Waukesha?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you receive information as to where you're taking the person when you initially get the pop-up?
Objection, leading.
Overruled, you may answer.
When you initially get the request, you don't know where the person is going until you say that you arrived. Then you can see the address that they're going to.
Okay. So, did you eventually arrive at that location?
Yes.
What did you observe?
It was just a dark parking lot and a couple police cars on the street. No one was really around those. It seemed like it was like a closed building. I didn't know, it was just empty parking lot, no one there.
Okay. And did you see anyone, well, strike that. When you arrived at the location, do you send something through your app that says, I've arrived?
Objection, leading.
Overruled, you may answer.
Yes, there's a button that you can just click and say I arrived, and it sends a message to the person letting you know that you're out. Let them know that you're outside and they have 5 minutes to come out.
Now, is that when you would get the destination on your app?
Yes.
And do you recall what that destination was?
I don't recall the physical address. I just know it was on 19th Street in Milwaukee.
So you sent that the automated message went out saying that you were there. And that you give that person 5 minutes?
Yes.
What happened after 5 minutes?
I began to message with whomever the person was on the other end, letting them know that I was waiting outside and that I was in a white car.
And this is a chat feature as part of the app?
Yes.
Objection leading.
Overruled. Your answer may stand.
And then what happened?
I received a message back, letting me know who I was looking for, and that they were calling a ride for someone else, and they didn't know where he was. They then again gave me a description of who I was looking for.
And what was that description?
Objection leading.
Overruled.
Ask and answer.
Overruled. He may answer.
A light-skinned black guy with dreadlocks.
After you were given that information, what did you do?
I sent a message saying I didn't see anyone. I received a message back saying I don't know where he is. His phone died. He called me from someone else's phone.
What did you do then?
At that point, I didn't know. It was a basketball court out there, so I thought I was waiting on a kid.
Okay.
So I didn't want to just leave. So I got out my car. I knocked on the door at the company to see if anybody would come out. I rang the buzzer. Got no answer. I got back in my car. I sent the message saying there's no one around. Could they, make sure the person comes out, because I had already been past the 5 minute grace period.
Okay.
I got a message back saying I'll try to call them. I don't know what to tell you.
Then what happened?
At that point, I had been out there for about 7.5 minutes. So at that point, I just canceled the ride.
Approximately what time do you recall canceling the ride?
Objection leading.
Overruled.
It was around 5:30ish, somewhere around there.
And when someone requests a ride and they don't appear, is there a charge then to that person?
Objection relevancy.
Yeah, there's a charge if they go past the 5 minute grace period. There is a charge.
Okay. Thank you. Nothing further. Thank you.
There may be some questions. Any questions for this witness?
Yes. Do you remember about what time the call came in for the Lyft?
5:15.
Do you recall being interviewed by any law enforcement in the days after that night?
Yes.
And do you know if that was by phone or in person?
It was in person.
Upon arriving at the destination, you were supposed to be giving a lift to someone. Do you recall if there was anything strange about the destination?
Yeah, it was a closed building. There was no one out there, no cars in the parking lot.
And you said you canceled the ride around 5:30ish.
Yeah.
Do you recall what you did from that point?
I took another fare.
Same area or?
Same area.
And you made reference to someone telling you something that wasn't true that was going on. Do you recall what that was?
I do recall what that it was. My sister said that the school told my niece to stay in her dorm because there was an active shooting.
And usually, does your Lyft app have a profile picture attached to it?
No.
Do you recall when speaking to law enforcement something to the effect of referring to a profile picture or description included in the profile?
I recall saying that there was no profile picture.
And were you able to see any phone numbers or contact information?
I was not. You can't see that stuff on the app.
Before you canceled the ride, do you recall the last contact with the person who had set the Lyft up?
Yes, I'm pretty sure they said, I don't know what to tell you, when I told them that I didn't see anyone.
And that was via text message?
It's a chat through the app. And you said usually, even if it's
no pickup, there's a charge still associated with it?
Yeah.
Do you recall how many requests you completed after that failed one?
Approximately 8 to 10.
And you did state that you were not at the parade that evening, right?
True.
No further questions.
All right, thank you. Any redirect?
No.
All right, thank you, sir. You may step down.